Our next speaker, I don't think needs any introduction. This fella has come from New Jersey. New Jersey in the house. Fighting the same fight we are. He's been on a lot of TV about what he's got going on. Please welcome Ian Smith of Atilis Gym, Bellmawr.
What's up, everybody? You know, when I turned the corner down here and I was looking for a parking spot and I saw all these people on the stairs, it warmed my heart instantly. And I never know what I'm going to say when I get here, but as soon as I saw you guys, I knew what I was going to say. I was going to tell you my story, because you guys all know your story, and we all have a story getting through this. So I'm going to start from the beginning. I'm going to tell you a little bit about what we've been through. And if anybody doesn't know who I am, I'm that asshole who wouldn't close his gym in New Jersey. My business partner and I, Frank, we're not different than any of you guys here. We are the middle class. We are the backbone of America. We are the good people of this free country. There's nothing inherently special about us other than the fact that we are Americans. We love our country, and we love all the citizens in it. So just like anybody would when their country asks them to make a sacrifice, we made a sacrifice on March 16th of 2020. We didn't know what was coming towards us, and I think like a lot of us, we were scared and we were nervous, and we didn't really know what to expect. So we put faith in the institution that is there to protect and serve the American people. When our country asked us to shut down and suspend business operations for 14 days, we weren't excited about it, but for the greater good of my fellow Americans, we did that. We were reassured that the government would have our backs, and as I think all of us know, the government turned their backs. And 11 days into that shutdown, we started to smell smoke. Because when our career politicians started bickering back and forth on how to help the American people, we knew that this was political, and it was never about public safety or public health. Because if it was, there would be no arguing. They played partisan politics as usual, and both sides are guilty. These people who make careers out of public offices are the issue. Somewhere along the line, they got it mixed up, and they think that when they get elected, they are rulers. And they start acting selfishly to preserve their own power and push their own agendas. But they forget that they are elected by the people to work for the people. There was a time in this country where politicians feared crossing the American people, because what would happen to them was far worse than any reward that they could get by abusing their powers. And somehow in 2020 we wound up with politicians who are unafraid of their consequences for the actions that they do. They are not afraid because they haven't seen the consequences in so long. Now they'll see the consequences. So on March 16th, we shut down, and 11 days in, they passed a $2.4 or $2.6 trillion stimulus bill, the biggest one that we have ever seen. And who pays for that? We do. And who pays for their paychecks while they sit and bicker and take recess during the greatest shutdown in American history? We do. They awarded people $600 extra a week to stay at home and shut up. And far too many people bought that. They sold their freedom for $600 a week. And in doing so, they sold yours too. So we knew it was political, and we started planning, and we started plotting, because we knew that this was not going to be 14 days. 14 days came and went. 14 days turned into a month, and a month very quickly approached 2. And there was crickets about opening. Governor Murphy just kept telling us to be patient. When you're worth $60 million, that's pretty easy. When your primary mode of transport is your own personal helicopter, it's easy to be patient. When you're still taking a paycheck when the rest of the country is not, it's easy to be patient. But unlike most of us, I can speak for myself at least, that when I laid my head on the pillow every night, I had worry and concern and fear in my mind, and it kept me up every night worrying about what tomorrow was going to bring. So we planned to open. And we didn't do it secretly because it wasn't about the survival of our business, it was about the survival of our country and our freedoms. We put together a plan, a 15-point safety protocol, and we put it out there publicly on social media and in a press release. We put it out there in the hopes that government would contact us and reach out and want to talk about it because it was a good plan. And now we have evidence of that. And to date, Governor Murphy has not contacted us to discuss our safety protocol once. He's only reached out to punish and destroy our business. So I went on Tucker Carlson. I went on Tucker Carlson after he heard about the story. He called me while I was still training my clients, and he said, "Can you get to the studio in 2 hours?" And I said, "Absolutely." So I went on Tucker Carlson and I told Murphy to go fuck himself. In the nicest way possible. So we opened Monday, May 18th, which was exactly 2 months after the shutdown. And it was a beautiful day. We actually chained ourselves inside the building because the state police were told not to let us in the building on Monday morning. So Frank and I, our families, and some awesome gym members chained ourselves inside the building, and we prepared. And at 8 o'clock in the morning, we opened our doors, and Pete Hegseth from Fox News was standing there, and we told the world what we were going to do. There was hundreds of people in the parking lot, and most importantly, all the familiar faces that come to our gym every day, the people that we love, the people of our community, the middle class of America was lined up right down the side of the building waiting to come in. And if it wasn't for those two things, the people in the crowd that supported us and the members of the gym who were unafraid of the media and the government's lies, we wouldn't have made it this far. So I thank you guys again, everybody around the country who has supported myself, my business partner, and every small business who has dared to defy the people that call themselves rulers. So that week came and went. Monday we opened. It was a good day. The police were in the parking lot. They were there for everybody's protection. It was a wonderful day, and somewhere around 12 o'clock they approached the door and the crowd started to get a little upset, but we quieted them down and we let them speak. And the now retired police captain said that we were all informally in violation of an executive order. And he took a long pause and he looked around at the crowd and he said, "On that note, have a nice day," and he walked away. Governor Murphy did not like that because he called immediately and he threatened the entire Bellmawr Police Department to be furloughed for 60 days and that the county would come in and take things over. So the second lieutenant stepped up. He's not our biggest fan. He stepped up and he came and gave us some tickets, and we smiled and we accepted him in front of the cameras. And then we closed down and we opened Tuesday and we did the same thing. And this time they came after our customers. They wanted to scare people because people weren't afraid enough of the virus. So they weaponized law enforcement, which is a public organization designed to protect the people, and they forced them to write tickets for violating the governor's orders. About 12 members got tickets that day. One of our members got arrested, and we got some more tickets. Wednesday, we reopened again, and this time, they put a camera in the parking lot, and instead of giving people tickets right there in front of the media, because that didn't look too good, they were pulling people over down the street and giving them tickets. Because they were ashamed of their actions, because they know exactly what they're doing. They've sold their souls, and it shows. Wednesday, Governor Murphy said that he was going to weaponize the health department against us, because that's what he does. He uses public organizations that are designed to protect and serve the people to enforce his will, kind of like a king.
Sounds like Wolf.
I think all five of them, Gretchen and Wolf and Newsom and Cuomo and Murphy, I think they're all in a neck-and-neck race to see who's the biggest asshole. So Wednesday in a press conference, he told everybody that he was going to send the health department. So Wednesday in the middle of the night, and we have camera footage of it, there was a health department official that snuck up to the building like they were doing something wrong, because they were, and slapped a notice of embargo and a notice of shutdown on our door, this bright orange sticker that sits there to this day. And they were told that we weren't allowed to reopen, and that health department official never even stepped foot inside of our building, never called, nothing. They didn't check our safety protocol, even though it's written on the wall. They shut us down with due process, which is yet another violation of our constitutional rights. But like Governor Murphy said on Tucker Carlson, the Bill of Rights is above his pay grade, so that doesn't surprise me one bit. Thursday, we reopened because that shutdown was BS, and Friday we did the same thing. Governor Murphy went on Friday to a lapdog of a judge, a state judge who used to be a state attorney general. His name's Robert Lugie. He loves to yes sir Murphy. And, you know, it's funny telling this story because it's so stupid. So lapdog Lugie enforced the health department shutdown, even though, once again, it was done without due process. And he ordered, by judge's court order, that we be shut down, and that Governor Murphy was granted permission to change the locks on our building. So Friday night, in the middle of the night, once again, always in the middle of the night, they came and they physically changed the locks to our private property. If you guys are counting, that's violation number 3 of our constitutional rights. So at that point, my partner and I decided that we were going to turn it over to the judicial system. We made our stand, and we put our faith once again in the government. The executive branch had failed us under Murphy, so we were going to allow the judicial system to do what it's supposed to do, which is provide checks and balances. I don't think I need to tell that part of the story where they didn't. 4 weeks later, we got those locks removed only because we had an essential business inside, which is Rock Bottom Nutrition, a supplement store. So we played the game for a little bit, and we promised that we'd be good boys and girls, and we wouldn't open inside until we were given our day in court. So we pulled out 45,000 pounds worth of equipment into the parking lot every single day so our members could continue to work out. And no less than 300 of them showed up every single day in the middle of June. Well, that day in court never came. So on July 4th, our Independence Day, we said, fuck it, let's get arrested. We resumed business operations inside, and uneventfully, we didn't get arrested on July 4th. So, I guess that was. I guess Murphy was off barbecuing somewhere in his private helicopter. Yeah, he was down the shore, not wearing a mask, probably, even though he mandates them. He was with Wolf catching that suntan. Yes, that's right. So we resumed operations inside, and every day it got more popular and popular because people found out that we were open again. And then one day we got another motion from Governor Murphy, and we were being held in contempt of court. We obviously lost that because guess who our judge was? Lapdog Loogie. So we were held in contempt of court, and they started saying that we were going to get arrested and that we had to vacate the premises because they were going to come and change our locks again. So Frank and I had the crazy idea that we were going to take the doors off the hinges and remove them from the premise so they can't change our locks, and the only way that we were going to leave is if we were in handcuffs. We operated our business for 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, sleeping in shifts in the tanning bed. And with the help of our family and our friends, we were able to do so. I guess about a week and a half or so later, at 5 in the morning, there's about 10 county sheriffs and the county prosecutor came in and they arrested us, and we went peacefully. We sat in the jail cell. We had some good laughs. We stole our cell phones back, and we were taking pictures and giving Facebook updates as they struggled to find the statutes that they were charging us with because they're so archaic that they're not even in the computers. The county prosecutor actually had to Google it. Just being good soldiers following orders. So they released us from jail, and when we got back, there was a plywood barricade built in front of our door. So we took a day off. We took a day off to rest because we hadn't been home in 12 days or so at that point. And then we decided, I went and spoke at a rally, and at the rally we decided that we were going to kick the doors down and we were going to resume business operations. So that Saturday, we called the news, we let everybody know, and we put our foot through the plywood, turned the lights on, turned the music on, and opened back up. We resumed business operations inside once again, and a couple days later we got another contempt of court charge. This time Governor Murphy was requesting that we be fined $15,574.56 for every day that we were in operation. And he based that number off of one thing, not on our daily sales, not anything logical, but on the money in our GoFundMe account that was earmarked for our legal defense that was donated to by all of the people that supported us. In court, he called it our war chest. Once again, these politicians are not afraid of their actions. That money was for our legal defense, and it was being used for our legal defense, and he openly admitted that he was trying to thwart our ability to defend ourselves in court.
Violation number 4.
That is violation number 4, that's right. So, of course, Robert Loogie said, "Yes, sir." And he started fining us $15,000 a day for every day that we were in operations. Meanwhile, the gym is still open, and we've been keeping track of visitors in our own safety protocol system. And to date, we have over 37,000 visits to the facility, and not a single case of COVID-19 has been reported by one person who has stepped in the gym. And nobody's wearing a mask. When people step inside the facility, it's the old normal. It's a place where people come We're a gym, a community-based gym, full of veterans, active military, first responders, doctors, lawyers, middle-class America, all of the people who are being oppressed. Black, white, doesn't matter. Young, old. Our oldest member is an 88-year-old woman who comes in at 5 o'clock every morning, and she doesn't wear a mask either. So to date, I forgot one part. They pressured the town council and mayor of Bellmawr to revoke our business license. Here comes constitutional violation number 5. So we had to go in front of this nonsense meeting where they put on this little song and dance how they were weighing the options and they were actually looking at the case. But actually we received a phone call the night before that told us exactly what the vote was going to be and who was going to vote which way. We were told it was going to be a 5-to-1 vote to strip our license, and it was a 5-to-1 vote indeed. It was another political play and another weaponization of Murphy. They told us we were a threat to the public, and we asked them, where is the science? And to date, no public organization has presented any science that small business is any more dangerous than slapping a mask on your face, wiping a cart down, and walking into Walmart. So they told us we were a threat to the public with no evidence. That's violation number 5. They stripped our business license, and we continue to operate to this day on donations. Still getting fined $15,000 a day, up until the day that the gyms reopened. The total amount that we owe is over $250,000. We have over 60 criminal charges between the two of us. I'm running down the list. I think that's all. Loss of business license. Anything else he wants to throw at us in the meantime, he can. And he was coming to lock our doors one more time. And this time, he requested that a steel barricade be put up. But we had plenty of welders who said that they would be there with, I don't know what the torch is, but some badass torch that was going to blow it right down. And finally, we were contacted by a representative of our government, an unelected member. His name is Rick Maida. He's running against Cory Booker. And he said, I'm not elected yet, but I want to help. And I know that they're coming to lock your doors, so here's what I want to do. I want to make your gym a volunteer and a rally location for my political campaign. You better believe we said, hell yeah. So 12 hours before Governor Murphy was coming to arrest us for the second time and build his little steel barricade, we declared that we were a political location, and we were therefore exempt from any of Murphy's executive orders. And we were all just there exercising our rights. Heavy quotation on the exercise. So, gyms opened 2 days later after that, oddly enough, with less of a safety protocol than we had. All he required is masks. Why? Because masks remind us that there's a threat. No mask? Does anybody remember there's a threat? Does anybody see COVID around here? It's not lurking in your local diner anywhere, in your local gym, in your local hair salon, your nail salon, at your kid's school. The executive order, because we've read every single one of them, doesn't even require masks. It requires cloth face coverings. It's not about public safety. It's not about public health. It's about shut up, sit down, wait for a vaccine, and be very afraid. And through all of this, I've become very inspired. I've always loved my country, but I think I love it a little bit more now. And it's because of all of you, freedom-loving Americans who will not back down. every single one of us will be on the right side of history of this. But I'm going to tell you something. What we are working against is a very well thought out plan. None of this has happened by accident. Call it the plandemic, call it whatever you want it. So, because it's not happening by accident, it won't go away by itself. It's going to take each and every single one of you raising your voices and getting involved every chance you can. Every rally you can attend. Every person you can talk to. Have conversations with people, educate them about what is happening. And open your hearts to people who don't understand. Because we've had people come in the gym. I tell this story a lot. About 2 weeks ago, a guy walked into the gym and he bought a t-shirt. And I thanked him for his support, and he said, you know what? When this first started, I thought you and Frank were assholes. And I laughed, and he said, I'm serious. He said, I thought you were selfish, I thought you were reckless, and I thought you were just being defiant for the sake of being defiant. I thought you were a troublemaker. And he said, the only reason I paid attention was because you pissed me off. And I followed you on Facebook, and I followed you on Instagram, and I used to trash talk you. And he said, the longer I paid attention, the more I realized that something was wrong with all this. He said, this woke me up. It woke my family up, and it woke my friends up. And I think if we have anything to take away from this, it's that. This is our time now to make a stand. And this is where it starts. It's not going to end in November. So I'm going to wrap it up because I just got tapped and I told you a really long story. But I love all you guys. Please keep fighting. Do not back down.
One more time for Ian Smith. Let's hear it. USA! USA! USA!